Thanks for spending halftime with us. Time to get it back out.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to... Look for Dallas. Wembenyama. He's checked in for Derek Lively. Bagley comes in for Washington, and it's Williams in for Thompson. And the Raptors also making a change. Shed's checked in. And Doris, I heard a famous coach talking about, quote, the human nature things that a team has to beat before they even get on the court. Can you talk about that?
Oh, Kevin, it's such a great point. So, for instance, is the team in it collectively? Do they care who's getting the shots, the rebounds, and the attention from the media? Or are they about the team and collective success? Human nature is a part of this.
So the Raptors 5 right now. In at the forwards, Ingram and Barnes. Then there's Emmanuel quickly. And it's Shed in at the 2 spot.
And I got to say, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult when they're trailing.
But still a magnificent move to the rim. Like to thank AT&T for bringing us that spectacular look from their connected cam. Here's Barnes. Makes it off the glass. Barnes has got 5 points now in the quarter.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
Hits the three-point bomb.
Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
Raptors trail by 14. Ingram outside. The 3 from Quickly. It's rebounded by Dallas. There's 38 seconds left in the third quarter. Pass the flag. And another basket for Dallas.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
No, I think that's the one thing every player is searching for. Consistency. They're giving this guy a chance to carry the offense once again.
12 seconds left here in the third quarter. Barnes screen on Williams. Clock at 4. The Raptors need to get a shot off. And it's quickly missing. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Mavericks ahead as they wrap up the third quarter with a tremendous 17-7 run. We're back after this from American Airlines Center. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Coach Jason Kidd.
Good D, good pull. Understand something, one shot, one rebound.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. So with Irving on the bench, here's the 5 for Jason Kidd right now. They've got Wembenyama. Christie is out there with Flag. Then there's Marvin Bagley. And it's Marshall in at the small forward position. Murray Bowles. Got it. Good job in the low post.
Boy, you love that play by Quickly. This guy can score or make plays for teammates.
Here's Wembenyama for 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Wembenyama's got 5 points now in the quarter. And so Quickly will bring it up for Toronto. Trailing by 19. They set the screen. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it, and the shot goes in.
Well, this is Quickly in a nutshell. This guy can light up a defense in a hurry.
And we've got a timeout called by Jason Kidd. And he wants to see some changes out there right away and right now. Chris Middleton's checked in for Dallas. Irving comes in for Max Christie. The Raptors also with a sub. Ingram, he's checked in for Grady Dick. A 3 ball, and he hits the triple. 3 points there on the shot from Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
Raptors trail by 20. Pass to Walter. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. And it's quickly missing.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Here's Wembanyama. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Wembanyama's got 16 here in the second half. Now, quickly. Pass to Mamu Kalashvili. And the 3 off target.
Well, that's the opportunity they're looking for, just not the result, obviously.
That's good from Wembanyama on the assist from Marshall. And that's now 37 points for Mr. Incredible. Toronto's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And Darko Rajakovic calls timeout. He's not taking any chances and wants to huddle them up right away. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Bagley, he's checked in for Chris Middleton. Christie comes in for Flagg. And it's Williams in for Kyrie Irving. Here's Pirtle. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. 6 points for Jakob Pirtle.
Well, we know Pirtle, very efficient down there. This guy has got great post moves and soft touch.
Williams finds Wembanyama. Barnes grabs the miss. The Raptors have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Just 5 to shoot. Pirtle with a screen on Christie. And the rejection by Wembanyama. And the Mavericks making a change here. Nemhard's checked in. And some changes here for the Raptors. .158 left in the fourth quarter. And again, no good by Toronto. Mavericks leading by 22. Here's Wembanyama. The shot's good. Marshall making the play. Marshall's got 5 assists tonight.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
The Raptors have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting at even 50% from the field.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Dallas.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Mr. Incredible.
He showed up on the glass in a big-time way, and that really set a tone.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Williams has checked in.
Making every effort to put this game on ice.
Well, just terrific teamwork. Each guy doing his part. You love what you're seeing from them tonight.
Barrett the pass to Pirtle. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
Boy, Barrett is a natural-born playmaker, understands when to be aggressive and make the right play.
Wembanyama. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
Convincing lead with very little time remaining, and the fans are pumped.
Well, they're getting ready to celebrate, no doubt. They know it's theirs to lose at this point.
Well, this is what they needed earlier on. At some point, it's too little, too late.
Yeah, but then again, this run came against a team that may have felt it had already won, and you get the sense it let its guard down.
Wembanyama with the bucket.
And nice job taking what the defenders gave him. These guys need a gut check right now.
Well, simply stated, simply not enough effort, not enough attention to detail. They've gotten run over this evening.
So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
Now, let's send it over to Dominic Hamill. All right, thanks, Dom. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Dorisburg, Greg Anthony, and our sideline reporter, Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And so long, everyone.
MP's going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, good game, MP.
Holmgren.
I have to say, I didn't expect this to happen so soon. Well, you did it. You're in the starting lineup, man.
I'd be lying if I said I was surprised, but I appreciate it, Coach.
Good. Now you have to prove you belong.
Come on, Coach, you know I got it. On, right? Maybe we send some Steve Nash MVP season reels.
100-0, but in German.
Oh, good one, I guess.
I'm
Here are the starters for Oklahoma City. Wallace and Williams run the wings. Two big bodies inside with Holmgren and Hartenstein in the middle. And it's SGA in at the point. And for the Mavericks, they've got Flagg, Kyrie Irving out there with Max Christie. Then there's PJ Washington, and it's Rain Man in at the 5 down low. And the Thunder, the second youngest NBA champion ever, Shams.
You know, BA, sometimes I feel like you can't say enough about the job the Oklahoma City Thunder and that front office has done. Just absolutely remarkable. In that 12-man rotation last year, 5 second-round picks and 3 undrafted players. It's headlined by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, and J-Dub, a.k.a. Jalen Williams. But they've uncovered some real diamonds in the rough in Oklahoma City.
Well, they've done a great job acquiring those picks, acquiring players, and maybe most importantly, developing the players they have.
And BA, what's scary is they've got their big three signed through the remainder of the decade, and they've got dozens upon dozens of draft picks, second-round picks, and pick swaps. They can keep contending for years to come.
All right, let's throw it over to Allie, who has a report on MP.
We have a bit of a lineup change tonight. MP is stepping into the starting five in a move that many fans have been hoping for. Coach told me, quote, MP's earned it. He put in the time and he's done things the right way. He's looked like a starter for a while now. It's quite the journey for the rising star from Vermont.
You know, it seems his moment has arrived. Thanks. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Last game with 30. Shot clock at 6. Williams from long range. And the rebound goes to Dallas.
Well, it's early on in this one. Only one basket to speak of. There is time to start working together.
Launches it. Rain Man, that's good. Rain Man's got his second basket of the night.
I just love his approach coming into tonight. Focused and aggressive.
And we've heard greats like KD and LeBron question ring culture in the NBA, Shams.
They've both chased after championships as well, though. They've both gone after those rings. And so, for sure, counting rings, that definitely oversimplifies the legacy of the game. We have to see exactly how the player's body of work stacks up. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. Everyone's going to have their take. And trying to influence public opinion is a tricky game. At the end of the day, people are going to look at stats. They're going to look at how many championships you win. They're going to look at the entire body of work. And rings culture is a part of that to an extent.
Yeah, and think about the civic pride that comes to a city that an organization is in when they do win a championship.
Kevin Durant won 2 rings with the Warriors when he went there. LeBron James won 2 rings with the Miami Heat when he went there. So they both have gone and sought after that culture that comes with championship pedigree.
Here's Rain Man. The Thunder making their last shot. Lets the 3 fly. Basket is good. Nice setup from Irving. Rain Man's got 11 points.
Yeah, he's been having his way this quarter, attacking the basket and protecting their lead.
And Shams, the last few years, teams often giving up a lot of draft picks when they traded for a difference maker.
The market has changed, BA, and the thought process has been, assuming the trade moves the needle, those picks you're giving up aren't very good. But listen, if the trade doesn't work, you just gave up the farm. And that's the risk reward that you play with as a general manager.
Exactly what every offense needs. Shooters who can force the defense to extend.
Yeah, that's how you create that spacing, and that will open up a lot of options offensively.
Kicks it out to Holmgren, and out of bounds. Dallas will have it. And a moment now to take a look at a terrific player who has earned the Player of the Week in the Western Conference.
And you could not find a more deserving guy for this award. His ability to be whatever his team needs on both ends of the floor is an essential part of their success out there.
So for Oklahoma City, Williams is checked in for Hartenstein. Joe comes in for Chet Holmgren. And Mitchell subbed in for Wallace.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
And even as the NBA enters the first year of its lucrative new broadcasting deal, Sham, still plenty of fixation on the ratings.
Yeah, BA, and we've heard directly from the league that it's part of the culture of the NBA to be self-critical. I mean, you look at the growth of the NBA year over year, perhaps that restlessness is part of the reason why the league is thriving in a lot of ways. They're going to continue to find innovative ways, whether it's their TV deals, innovations in social media, innovations with other platforms to continue to get the NBA out there.
Well, one thing we know, they listen and they never stand still.
Well, unless the defense adjusts, I don't see any change here. He has flat out taken over this game with his scoring.
Now here's SGA, and Williams punches it home.
And that's exactly the type of pass we expect from a guy with his vision.
Here's Rain Man, and the three-pointer goes. Rain Man's got 22 points.
Getting out to a nice lead. Great flow and great execution.
Williams with the screen. And it's Oklahoma City with another.
And Gilgeous-Alexander understands this team wants him to be aggressive on offense. Love watching him go to work. Nice one-handed jam. Simple and effective, B.A.
Hey, with the lead, I'm surprised he didn't come up with something a little more creative. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Oh, his shooting remains on point. 3 for 4 thus far.
And they keep trading punches. Both teams in a groove early.
Well, if you love high-scoring games, you came to the right place. His efficiency throughout this game has really been something, and his team has been able to succeed in large part because of it.
SGA with it. He has 6. He can't get that one to fall. And so it's Dallas closing out this quarter with a 7-point lead. They've been lights out from deep, and it's a big reason why they have a lead in this one. More to... So both teams making some changes here, and it's approaching 2 decades since the launch of the modern smartphone, Shams. It's put the game in the palm of your hand.
Well, you know, I don't go anywhere without my phone, and of course, that accessibility is a key part of why Adam Silver says the league has been supercharged by technology. Social media and our phones are a big part of the game.
Can you imagine it any other way at this point?
Absolutely not.
They've got Kyrie Irving. Najee Marshall is out there with P.J. Washington. Then there's Max Christie, and it's Rain Man in at the 5. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas.
And the big fella with the skill level, showing a soft touch at the line.
Count it. Good. Rain Man's got 28.
I love how he's taking charge out there. Here, offensively, riding the wave.
Outside, SGA. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second.
Well, that's a tough rebound there to secure, but he put all of his size in there in order to secure it.
And he dunks it down.
Defense is paying a lot of attention to Kyrie, and that will open up assist opportunities.
And here are the Thunder now, trailing by 10. And after this one, they're at home against Sacramento. And that kicks off a string of 3 home games for them. All right, now that we have a break, let's take a look at which teams capitalized from the line last season. Oklahoma City, number 1.
Well, last year, they were tremendous at the line. A very fundamentally sound team shooting-wise.
That free throw good from Holmgren.
Yeah, and many believe Holmgren must add muscle over time to his wiry frame. We'll see if he focuses on doing just that.
Flags checked in for Dallas. Isaiah Hartenstein's checked in for Oklahoma City. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey, BA. The Thunder are trying to be efficient scoring. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander said, quote, ultimately, it just comes down to taking what the defense gives you and trusting your teammates. You need them to win at a high level. That's clear as day, and I want to win at a high level, so I have no option. BA?
Sharing the rock. Allie, appreciate the report. Dallas leading by 8. Here's flag. Holmgren with the block.
And you can't forget about Holmgren's reach, especially when he's nearby on defense.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Hartenstein. Shot's good. SGA making the play. SGA's got 3 assists now in this one. Well, we know you got to get going, but thanks, Shams. As always, it's been fun and informative, my friend.
BA, no problem. Always glad to join, but I got to go. I got to get to this news right now.
Man's got things to do. Always a pleasure to have Shams drop in. He knows everything that's going on in the league.
Well, he's really connected, and he has great instincts. It's almost like he can sniff out a story better than anyone.
Irving looking it over. Here's Rain Man. Oklahoma City grabs a miss. They come into this one following the loss to Atlanta.
Just a tough road loss. You're going against players who are comfortable shooting in their own building. You have to find a way to disrupt their focus.
Let's call it what it was. They got overwhelmed. The matchups were just not in their favor.
Drives to the hoop. Rain Man. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. It's going to go on Chet Holmgren.
Hey, if you can't block it, sending him to the line can be the next best thing.
The Thunder making a switch here. Mitchell's checked in, and he makes both free throws.
Yeah, they're really cashing in more at the line here in the second quarter.
Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Give him 8 points now. Outside Mitchell. Jacks up a 3. Knocks down the long J.
Well, the defense is going to try to shut down certain things, but it's impossible to deny everything. That's a skilled play right there.
And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Mavericks ahead. They lead by 3. And time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow on 2K Sports.
Taking a look here at the Thunder, they've been one of the bigger disappointments so far in the early goings. Some people thought they might be an elite team.
And now let's discuss that first half. The Mavs in a tight one.
We often talk about efficiency on offense.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. And Legs, more and more, we're seeing teams investing in player development. What's behind that?
Well, for one thing, more teams understand that your development staff doesn't count toward the cap. So you're open-ended in that regard. And there are teams now looking for an edge by investing in areas where they're not constrained.
Winning on the margins, man. And it's time for an injury report.
Hey guys, the head athletic trainer of the Mavericks was able to update me on the situation. The difficulty walking or bending or even standing straight indicates an acute lower back strain. So this team is starting the year off with some tough news. But if there's a silver lining, it's a long season, so they have plenty of time to make the necessary adjustments.
All right, Allie, thanks. Appreciate the update.
Well, that is encouraging, but it's also important to make sure he is 100% before he returns. You don't want to hurry back and risk further injury.
And Oklahoma City, looking at who they've got. SGA and Wallace are the backcourt. 2 big bodies inside with Holmgren and Hartenstein in the middle. And it's Williams in at the 3, the small forward. And the Mavericks are in the planning stages for a new arena set to open by 2031.
Yeah, their existing arena opened in 2001. A 30-year run for an NBA venue is pretty typical. And remember, it's big business. New arenas are often the anchor tenant for larger developments.
Here's Rain Man. Wallace pulls it in. Thunder trail by 6. Gilgeous-Alexander on the wing. He's guarded by Irving. Outside, Williams. 6 to shoot. The floater, it's deflected.
1 for 4 in the second half. Just trying to get into a rhythm.
Here's Rain Man. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Hardenstein's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Holmgren outside. There's the 3. He got a piece of it. And that's out of bounds. Oklahoma City will keep it. And so Mark Daigneault will call a timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy. Tim, watching Chet Holmgren, he brings a lot to the table.
Well, absolutely, Brian. He's got a wingspan of 7.5 feet, but still has touch from deep. It's really something to marvel at. Chet is redefining what a stretch big can be in the NBA.
To the left wing. Nice ball movement by Oklahoma City. And another miss by Oklahoma City.
Well, I think at this point the whole team is pressing, but he certainly looks frustrated.
Yeah, just an excellent shot blocker. Holmgren is so good at using his length and timing to erase shot attempts.
And he gets it back. Holmgren saving the possession.
They just look so overwhelmed inside. You know, that's why they continue to get attacked.
Here's Rain Man. He's got 38. And that one good. Rain Man's got 40 points.
And I bet he wishes they could play this team every night. Things are going great out there offensively.
Pass to SGA. Fires for 3. And the rebound goes to Dallas. They've led by as much as 10. Now here's Irving. 4-3. Buries it from 3. And now a 9-point Maverick lead.
And Irving showing you his versatility. You can play him on or off the ball.
Here's SGA. Lets it go from deep. Oklahoma City, the rebound. The three is up. And it's Holmgren missing.
He seems a little out of rhythm right now.
Puts up a three. Christie's shot is off.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
From deep, Gilgeous-Alexander. Give him that one. Now shooting 5 for 11 from the floor.
SGA stepping out on the floor. That will create some driving lanes going forward.
A line change. Here's SGA. Caleb Martin out there with Najee Marshall. And then it's Kyrie Irving. And it's Nembhard in at the point guard position. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks.
Well, he got the shot he loves, and the defense should honestly be relieved. He didn't punish them for being a little bit soft there in the mid-range.
Another shot right in the lane. That's been their MO this evening.
And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has made the move from star to superstar, Grant.
Well, no question, B.A. He's been a superstar for quite a few seasons now, but he's not satisfied and just continues to elevate his game. Year after year.
Well, Legs, the last few years, big men have been owning the MVP discussion. Now, enter SGA.
Yeah, and B.A., this is the scariest part. SGA has room to grow. The guy is still in his mid-20s and is arguably the best player in the game.
And Dallas making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Thunder trail by 9. Outside Mitchell. Three-pointer. The Mavericks pull it in. Marshall's got his 5th rebound in this one. Good! Another from 3. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable, B.A. Unbelievable.
SGA deciding where to go with it. The 3 is in!
Oh, you gotta love the back and forth, showing real confidence at the arc.
And when you give up a 3, there's always this instinct to try and get it back immediately.
Here's Rain Man. Williams defending. And he slams it down.
He is torching a defense that simply has no answers for him.
And Mark Daigneault has called a timeout. He was quite emphatic, demanding the timeout, clearly wanting to address strategy with his team. A different look for Dallas. Washington's checked in for Martin. Flag comes in for Marshall. And Max Christie's subbed in for Johnson. Then for Oklahoma City, Hartenstein. He's checked in for Williams. Williams comes in for Joe. And it's Wallace in for Mitchell. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. Mark Dagnall had some words for his team over the last break. He encouraged his guys to not hold back, saying, "We can do this, but it's on us. We've got to go out there and be aggressive." So that's the plan coming out of the huddle. Back to you.
All right, appreciate it, Allie. Flag outside. 1:52 left in the fourth quarter. Releases from 15. Cleared away by Hartenstein.
Trying to do a little too much with that. That fadeaway, there wasn't anyone near him.
Good for two.
Oh, I love the ferocity on the drive. Williams doesn't lack confidence tearing towards the rim.
Here's Flag. He launches. Another bucket. Wow. And that gives him 51.
Making it look easy.
Thunder trail by 9. Outside SGA. Now Hartenstein. Oh, it's off. Again! What an avalanche!
This game has his name written all over it.
He has been phenomenal. An offensive onslaught.
Well, with a comeback out of range, we can put a bow on this one. Good performance for the Mavericks.
It was stop and go for them along the way, but they finally seized full control of this game.
BA, the scoreboard definitely doesn't tell the whole story. They were...
And again for 3.
Another 3 for him. I'm not sure I've seen a better three-point shooting night.
Well, he's just pouring it on, and he's tied for the 5th most triples ever in a single game.
And where was this type of effort earlier in the game? Unfortunately, this run will be all for nothing.
Well, they have finally found something that's working, but it's against a defense that clearly has let up since they have the lead.
And they're so close to putting this game away.
Yeah, BA, you don't have to do anything crazy. Just run the clock and don't turn it over.
Takes a shot. Oh, that was a gimme. And here's SGA. He'll bring it up for the Thunder. They trail by 9. Another chance. Book it. Boy, you love how guys are making plays for one another here.
Yeah, just a balanced attack, a total team effort. And I love how he's pushing the tempo and creating for others. He does this game in and game out. Incredible.
That is just beautiful ball movement, unselfish basketball.
And good. There's another.
And it's 60 points again for him. Can't believe he's done it 3 times.
That's right. And now he's tied for the 3rd most 60-point games in a single campaign. And so Dallas takes this one by a big margin. This one was a fun one to watch. They were clearly in the driver's seat down the stretch.
They really were, BA. They played with great intensity on both ends of the floor, and they didn't allow their mistakes to get.
Thanks, Jennifer. And that about wraps it up.